Okay, now we're live. There we go. That'll probably absolutely be part of the replay, but it's okay. Hey y'all, if you're new here, my name is Jordan Maney, aka the Radical Joy Coach. I help people rest, joy, and community care in their lives. And today there's a fuck ton of protests going on. Oh yeah, raise hell. But for people who may be um, confused about the power of the voice, I wanted to read a very special poem called A Litany for Soul by Audre Lorde. The reason I want to read it is because I think a lot of us right now are feeling incredibly helpless. And I want to remind you that your voice is perhaps the most powerful tool for resistance that there is. And so this poem is probably my favorite of Audrey's. It always gives me a lot of, when I'm feeling a lot of fear or I'm feeling a lot of like resistance or anxiety around speaking up, it feels like a really big, not permission slip, but just like, baby girl, just go for it. So I wanted to read that to you really quickly. This is called A Litany for Survival. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways coming and going in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward at once before and after, seeking and now that can breed futures, like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the death of ours. For those of us who were imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hope to silence us. For all of us, instant in this triumph, we were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, and when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it's better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. That always feels like the biggest, not, and I said, permission slip. It's really like the biggest reality check. I love this poem so much. Again, it's called A Litany for Survival by Audre Lorde. If you're not familiar with any of her poems or essays, get familiar. Black feminist literary works are really what's been anchoring the past year, 2 years. But I was reading that because I think we forget the potency of all of our voices and the importance in this moment of us using them in a very specific direction. It's dark outside, baby, but our voices are lights, and we can't just protect them so much no one ever sees them. We can't just keep them to ourselves. We really have to figure out how to use them for the greatest good here, if you aren't already. I feel like I started doing that way back in like 2020, 2016, honestly. But then somewhere along the way, the last few years, I just feel like I got so quiet. And I don't want to be quiet anymore. So all of that to say, I just wanted to read that maybe for myself, but I do hope it's helpful for you as well. It's better to speak remembering we were never meant to survive. You might as well express yourself you might as well say what needs to be said. Um, because the greatest illusion of fascism is the idea that when they speak for the majority and people begin to yield and comply ahead of time. Um, be a pebble in their shoe, be the tickle at the back of their throat, be ungovernable, be uncompliant, be loud, and be honest. I think the squirrels running back there are kind of highlighting my point. Um, but yeah, y'all. Oh my God, we are flying. Girl. Ooh, Lord. Um, yeah. I just thought I'd read a little Audrey to help settle myself, maybe others who are feeling this way, but it's better to speak. It's better to speak. It's better to write that thing. It is better to publish that essay. It is better to protest. It is better to stand with your friends and your community. It's better to speak up. It's better. Right. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Stay safe. If you can't stay safe, stay woke. And I truly, truly mean this. Rest easy.